Hey, listeners, and welcome to another episode of this podcast where, if you're new here, we talk about all things related to not just voiceover anymore, even though its name hasn't changed, but we talk about, anything related to the three different screen readers that I teach. I just come on here and talk to you for a few minutes about something. Usually it's something new that I've come up with in my learning space. And today it's a new lesson that's out, and I wanted to let everyone know about it. I'll put a link to where to get it, but if you don't know how to access show notes or the description box, not to worry. Open up any browser, type accessible learning, just like how it sounds, .gumroad, so gumroad.com. Find the tab. In this case, it's going to be the tab that you want called lessons on Mac with VoiceOver, because this is what this little video is going to be about today, or not little video, this little episode. Or if if any of that didn't make any sense to you, you could always email VO as in VoiceOver learninglounge@gmail.com and ask me for clarification or something on how to find this lesson. This is a new lesson that I've just released that I thought as many people should know about as possible. So I'm putting this as a new episode on YouTube and on Apple Podcasts, where this is also available to be heard. You can tell by the title of this lesson that this is called The Problem of Interaction. How to get around the problem of knowing, when it comes to using VoiceOver on Mac, when to interact and when not to interact. This lesson is taught under the assumption that you already have some basic or some intermediary skills under your belt about how to use VoiceOver. Okay, so it's not here to teach you VoiceOver. It's here to focus on one principle and one principle alone. This lesson was inspired by a learner who came up to me, who will remain nameless. This learner came up to me not too long ago and said to me, "Hey, I'm wondering one thing. As a VoiceOver on Mac user, when do I interact, as in when do I press the VO keys shift and down arrow command, and when do I not do it?" I've got a formula, a method that I basically came up with in my head that teaches you exactly how to figure out when and when not to do it. This lesson covers it in detail and shows you by example, but I'll show you a little bit now. It has three parts. One, if we use the Finder as an example, so I'm in my Finder, I'm going to hit Command N.
Now in Charming Eco window, column view, volume up 62, volume up button, 75% volume.
Okay, so let me slow this.
Rate 50, column view.
I'm in my Finder, and assuming that you're, you know a little bit about Mac and VoiceOver, you know that the Finder is like the Windows or File Explorer, right? That space where you put all your file locations are stored, okay? So let's say you find one thing that you want to interact with.
Sidebar, table.
The sidebar. I basically show you in this lesson a method for figuring out whether you need to press VO keys shift and down arrow on anything like the sidebar in order to interact with it. If you're unsure about whether to interact, meaning that if you're unsure of whether to press VO keys shift and down arrow or not, there are 3 steps or 3 things that you can do to help yourself figure that out. I go over this in extreme detail in the lesson, and if you came and talked to me about it in a consultation, I'd really beat that problem down to the ground until it no longer became a problem for you. So think about whether you want that. But really, the method boils down to, if I were to just give you one sentence of each, okay, so that I can give you something just for listening. You find the element that you're looking for, you move around it to figure out whether or not it's necessary to interact, and that method will basically, tell you that, basically it's almost foolproof. By moving around it, the core of that method that I go over in my lesson and in tutoring sessions, without spoiling it for you, is to tell you that by moving around the item that you want to interact, it'll tell you whether interaction is necessary or not. So if that interests you in any way and you want to learn more, you have 2 choices. Find the description box at the bottom of this episode, if you can, or email volearninglounge@gmail.com if you're sitting there going, I don't know how to find that, and get the pre-recorded lesson. That doesn't work for you. You don't like pre-recorded lessons. They put you to sleep. You don't understand them, whatever. email volearninglounge@gmail.com, because guess what? That's the fastest way to get a hold of me. And then I will help you solve that interaction problem or any other tech problems that involve learning the use of your tech, provided that I know the answers. If I do, I would for sure give you the solutions. And if I didn't, I might be able to help you, I'm only human, find out the solution for that. Thank you so much for listening. Enjoy the rest of your day.